9 hikers, a torn tent, barefoot footprints in the snow, bodies crushed with a force no human could survive, and a tongue ripped out. For more than 6 decades, the Dyatlov Pass Incident has been one of the darkest unsolved mysteries in modern history. Tonight, we are reinvestigating every detail, every photo, every autopsy, every Soviet record, every theory. What happened on Dead Mountain? The Dyatlov group consisted of 9 of the most experienced hikers from the Ural Polytechnic Institute. Young, determined, highly trained. Igor Dyatlov, 23, the leader, known for his discipline and innovation. Friends trusted him with their lives. Zinaida Kolmogorova, 22, strong, cheerful, loved by the group. Rustem Sloboldin, 23, an athlete, martial artist, calm under pressure. Ludmila Dubinina, 20, bright, fearless, strict on rules. Yuri Doroshenko, 21, brave but impulsive. Yuri Krivonishenko, 23, worked previously in a top-secret nuclear facility. Alexander Kolovatov, 24, former member of an elite lab with restricted access. Nikolai Thibaut Brignole, 23, smart and analytical. Semyon Zolotaryov, 38, a late addition, a mysterious wartime veteran whose background remains questionable. January 23, 1959. They depart from Sverdlovsk. Their spirits are high. Their diary entries are filled with jokes, songs, and optimism. January 28th. One hiker, Yuri Yudin, falls ill and returns home. A twist of fate that would save his life. The remaining 9 push forward into the Ural wilderness. Snowstorms intensify. Temperatures drop below -25 degrees Celsius. Yet everything seems under control. Until the night of February 1st. The hikers set up camp on the slope of Kholat-Syakhl, meaning Dead Mountain in the Mansi language. Why camp on the slope? Investigators still debate this. Most think they were blown off course by a storm and decided not to descend back into the forest. The tent they pitched that night was anchored securely, set facing downhill, half buried in snow, and positioned in a way that suggests no panic. Not yet. Their last photographs show smiling faces, hands raised, a feeling of victory, and the routine of experienced hikers preparing for rest. They cooked dinner, wrote in their journals, then crawled into their sleeping bags. It was around 9 p.m. Something happened shortly afterward. Something powerful. Something terrifying. Something that forced all 9 hikers to cut their way out of their tent and run into a blizzard half-naked, barefoot, and without protection. Why would trained mountaineers make such a suicidal choice? Search teams found the tent on February 26th. The scene defied logic. 1. The tent was torn from the inside, meaning the hikers wanted out fast. There were no signs of external threat, no animal marks, no weapons used. 2. All their belongings were still inside. Coats, boots, gloves, knives, food, cameras, money, even Dyatlov's notebook. 3. Footprints leading away. In a single line, measured, deliberate steps. Some were barefoot. Some wore only socks. One wore a single boot. 4. No sign of running. If there was terror, why did they walk calmly? The footprints disappeared into the forest. The cedar tree. The first 2 bodies found belonged to Doroshenko and Krivonischenko. Half naked, covered in bruises, hands shredded, as if desperately trying to climb the cedar tree to escape something. Under the tree, investigators found a small fire, snapped branches, human skin embedded in bark, and traces that the 2 men fought desperately to survive. 3 more bodies. Closer to the tent were Dyatlov, Kolmogorova, and Slobodin. They appeared to be returning to camp when they died of exposure. But something was strange. Dyatlov had bruises consistent with a violent struggle. Slobodin had a fractured skull. Kolmogorova had deep internal bruising with no external damage. Still not enough to explain the horror to come. Months later, snow melted, and search teams found a ravine near the cedar tree. Inside, 4 bodies. Dubinina, Thibaut Brignol, Kolovatov, Zolotaryov. Their injuries were catastrophic. Nikolai Thibaut Brignol. Severe skull damage, like being struck by a car at high speed. Ludmila Dubinina. Missing eyes, missing tongue, missing sections of facial tissue, broken ribs, internal bleeding, radioactive clothing. Semyon Zolotaryov. Broken ribs so violently crushed that medical examiners were stunned. But no external wounds, no bruising. His injuries resembled the shock waves from high-pressure explosions. Alexandra Kolovatov. Neck deformity. Possible signs of being moved after death. The condition of these bodies changed the entire investigation. This was no simple case of hypothermia. Radioactive contamination. Clothing from Dubinina and Krivonischenko tested positive for radiation. Krivonischenko previously worked at a nuclear site, but his uniform from that job was not taken on this trip. 2. Orange lights in the sky. Multiple witnesses, including local Mansi people, meteorologists, and soldiers from a nearby base, all reported glowing orange spheres over Dead Mountain that exact night. 3. Military activity. Local hunters heard booming sounds, similar to explosions. Some speculate parachute mines, secret weapons tests, sonic shockwaves, or a classified aircraft crash. 4. Missing archives. Portions of the Dyatlov file were removed years later. Certain photos were altered. Witness testimonies were censored. We now examine the most debated theories. Theory 1. Avalanche/snow slab. The official modern explanation. Problems. Slope too shallow, tent still standing, no avalanche debris, hikers walked, not ran. Ravine injuries cannot be caused by a simple slide. Most mountaineers reject this theory. Theory 2. Katabatic wind. Wind panic. Powerful downward winds can cause panic, disorientation, and hallucinations, a form of wind terror, but does not explain crushed ribs or missing tongue. Theory 3. Parachute mines. Soviet military tests may have produced shock waves, concussive internal injuries, orange explosions in the sky, fear that forced hikers out of the tent. This theory fits many details, Except, why no shrapnel? And why hide the evidence? Theory 4. Secret military encounter. Some believe the group saw something they were not supposed to. Downed aircraft, illegal testing, radioactive materials, classified military personnel. Motives for cover-up? Plenty. But again, no clear proof. Theory 5. Mansi attack. Quickly dismissed. Mansi hunters were peaceful, and no foreign footprints were found. Theory 6. Infrasound. Low-frequency sound waves may cause panic, dread, irrational behavior, fight or flight response. Possible cause for leaving the tent, not a cause for crushed chests. Theory 7. Gravity anomaly or natural phenomenon. Some scientists believe the group encountered microburst winds, pressure waves, snow where density changes rapidly, or an ice slab collapse. Interesting theory, but again, incomplete. Theory 8. The forbidden theory. Unknown entity. Some investigators, especially independent researchers, argue asymmetrical injuries, missing organs, shredded tree bark, radiation, fear-triggered behavior may indicate a predator unlike any known animal. But this remains speculation, not science. The truth of Dyatlov Pass is a jigsaw puzzle with missing pieces, pieces perhaps removed deliberately. 9 experienced hikers walked calmly into the night, then suffered injuries that contradict every established explanation. Crushed ribs without bruises, internal bleeding without external trauma, a tongue cut out, radiation, lights in the sky. The official answer feels incomplete. Most experts believe multiple events happened at once. Environmental pressure, panic, injuries from a high-energy force, military secrecy, and finally, a desperate fight for survival that lasted hours through the night. For more than 60 years, governments, scientists, and investigators have failed to answer one question. What happened on Dead Mountain? Was it nature? Was it human? Was it military? Or was it something we are still not ready to understand? The Dyatlov Pass mystery endures because every answer creates 2 new questions. Tell me in the comments, what is your theory? What forced 9 hikers to flee into the frozen darkness that night?